Pete Buttigieg has been floated as a major 2028 Democratic contender. He's a former U.S. Secretary of Transportation and former mayor of South Bend, who in interviews and public appearances has said he's weighing a possible 2028 bid rather than formally announcing one. J.D. Vance, meanwhile, is now a top Republican figure on the national stage. He serves in the Trump administration as vice president, which makes him the favorite to win the GOP nomination in a lot of 2028 early matchup polling and chatter. With that context, everything changes. Is Buttigieg clearing the runaway for a 2028 presidential run, or staying in the background and letting other Democrats emerge? In this video, I'll walk through what the map currently looks like, which swing states to watch, and show you how Pete Buttigieg currently fares in a hypothetical matchup with J.D. Vance. Before we get started, leave a like and subscribe to my channel to stay updated on news, elections, and anything politics related. Let me know in the comment section which video you would like to see next. Instead of covering every state by category, we've already filled out the solid states, and will now only focus on the competitive ones. We'll start out with the state of Nevada. Nevada has 6 electoral votes, and while it's leaned blue in recent presidential races, it's far from a lock for either party. Recent elections have shown it can be competitive. Democrats rely heavily on Clark County to offset Republican gains in rural Nevada. The battle comes down to whether Democrats can keep margins high enough in Clark and Washoe to counter gains elsewhere made by Republicans. Nevada is competitive, but Democrats have the edge if they keep turnout strong in those urban counties. For now, I'm putting Nevada in the tilt blue column. Next up is the state of Arizona. Arizona has 11 electoral votes and remains one of the tightest battlegrounds in the country. It swung Democratic in 2020, but has been hotly contested ever since. Republicans have invested heavily here and can flip it with unified turnout and a strong conservative coalition in suburbs and exurbs. Given recent trends and the GOP's organization in the state, Arizona goes into the tilt red column for this projection. Next up are the states of Colorado and New Mexico. Democrats have built strong advantages here thanks to the growing urban and suburban populations and strong support from younger and Hispanic voters. While Republicans can compete in certain pockets, both states look likely to stay in the likely blue column in 2028. Next up is the state of Texas. With 40 electoral votes, Texas is one of the largest prizes on the electoral map. Democrats have made steady gains in major cities like Houston, Dallas, and Austin, but Republicans still hold a deep structural advantage across much of the state's suburbs and rural areas. For this scenario, the GOP retains the edge in Texas, so I'm placing it in the lean red column. We will now be moving on to the state of Florida. Florida remains a battleground, but recent cycles have shown a shift towards Republicans. The GOP's strength with older voters and in key suburbs and exurbs have made the state tougher for Democrats. Urban centers like Miami and Orlando help Democrats, but statewide turnout and persuading moderates remain challenges. Florida will be competitive, but for this projection, it sits in the lean red column. Next up is the state of Georgia. Georgia has become one of the most exciting political battlegrounds in recent years. The Atlanta metro area's growing, diverse population and strong grassroots organizing have made this state competitive, and suburban voters around Atlanta have moved towards Democrats in recent cycles. Because of that continued Democratic traction in the Atlanta suburbs and increased turnout in the metro area, Georgia goes into the tilt blue column here. Next up, we have the state of North Carolina. While Democrats have made gains in Charlotte and Research Triangle, the statewide map still favors Republicans in many suburban and rural areas. The GOP's organization in those parts of the state gives them a narrow advantage on the map, so North Carolina goes into the tilt red column. Next up is the state of Virginia. Virginia, with its Washington area suburbs and expanding urban centers, has trended Democratic for years and looks comfortable in the likely blue column for 2028. Our next state is Ohio. Ohio now has 17 electoral votes after reapportionment, and it has moved towards the GOP in recent cycles. Urban areas like Cleveland and Columbus remain Democratic pockets, but the statewide trend gives Republicans the advantage at the moment, so Ohio will be placed into the lean red column for this projection. Next up is Indiana. Indiana remains a solidly Republican state. While Democrats compete in Indianapolis and some college towns, the GOP's strength in suburban and rural Indiana keeps it likely red. Iowa, with 6 electoral votes, has trended Republican in recent elections. Urban centers like Des Moines provide Democratic anchors, but rural areas have given the GOP the edge. Keeping that in mind, Iowa goes into the lean red column. Next up is the 2nd Congressional District of Nebraska. This single electoral vote district is an urban, more Democratic-leaning pocket and will be placed into the likely blue column. Our next state is Minnesota. Minnesota, with 10 electoral votes, has been reliably Democratic at the presidential level for decades, thanks to strong urban and suburban margins. Minnesota will remain in the likely blue column for 2028. Now, let's take a look at Wisconsin, a crucial battleground with 10 electoral votes. While Wisconsin has swung between parties in recent cycles, Democrats retain strong bases in Milwaukee and Madison and competitive suburban strength that can make this state close. If Democrats keep turnout high in those places, Wisconsin will go into the tilt blue category for this projection. Next up is Michigan, another key battleground with 15 electoral votes. Detroit and other urban centers provide Democrats with a strong foundation, while rural parts of the state lean Republican. In this scenario, strong urban turnout puts Michigan in the tilt blue column. Our next state is Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is often considered the crown jewel state of presidential elections. Close races here often decide the presidency. Big urban centers like Philadelphia and Pittsburgh, plus growing suburban gains, give Democrats a path here, even though Republicans are competitive in many rural counties. For this projection, Democrats are currently on track to offset Republican rural gains, and Pennsylvania will be placed into the tilt blue column. We now have 2 states and 1 district remaining. Both New Jersey and New Hampshire have been reliably Democratic in recent cycles and look likely to remain in the likely blue category. One final district is the 2nd Congressional District of Maine. This district has a Republican tilt in many cycles due to its more rural composition. Keeping that in mind, I will be placing Maine's 2nd district in the lean red column. And there you have it. With every state filled out under this Pete Buttigieg versus J.D. Vance map, Pete Buttigieg comes out on top, 292 electoral votes, to J.D. Vance's 246 electoral votes. While the contest remains competitive in several key swing states, Buttigieg's hypothetical advantage in a handful of battlegrounds and the Democrats' strongholds across others puts him in a favorable position in this projection. Please keep in mind that this is a prediction, a snapshot based on current news, demographics, and where battlegrounds are showing signs of moving. Things can and will change between now and 2028, so treat this as an informed projection rather than a certainty. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay up to date on all things politics related. Drop a comment below with your 2028 predictions. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.